Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to This Week in Worthless Knowledge. I am your beloved host, Johnny Goodtimes,
I'm Nat the Truth Jones.
and it is such an honor to be with you again this week. More and more people are coming up to me, pizza parlors, back alleys, um,
The malt shop.
the malt shop, the when I'm taking long strolls along the beach. Just running up to me and saying, "Hey, are you Johnny Goodtimes from This Week in Worthless Knowledge?" And it feels so good to be able to say that's me.
They just charge up to you on the beach, like get
Yeah,
nose to nose with you and just
yeah. And then they
get
serve me a
you
summons.
right. It was all a ruse just to get you in court.
It's incredible how quickly I was able to. My whole story fell, and I was able to give them my real name. All right,
And that's right.
so we've got
Smash that like button.
that's right. We've got a lot to talk about this week, and the first thing we've covered before, but there's just this thing is just a nonstop supply of gold.
And
And I
there's
mean
only
that,
so many things that have happened in history.
yeah. I mean, March 9th, 1796, Napoleon marries Joseph. Now, you know, we're not sponsored by the HBO movie with Joaquin Phoenix that came out a couple years ago. So don't
Not yet.
necessarily think, but if Ridley Scott's listening, I mean, there's certainly our DMs are open. But that said, there's a lot to talk about here. And I really want to dig in deep because it's a lot of fun. And part of that is because Napoleon to me is a lot like Trump, right? So he's a deranged narcissist loon who's not fun to live over, but really funny to read about 200 years later.
Do you
Like
think
this
what you
era
think
we're
you think
going
in
through
like
now
you
is
think in a couple
miserable.
hundred years we're gonna look back on this and just kind of chuckle?
We're not, but our ancestors, like we're living under this in total misery and anger, and our ancestors are just going to find the whole thing hilarious. Our descendants, I should
Something to look forward to.
say. Yeah, that's right. If any of you are listening to this 200 years from now, greetings.
Right. First of all,
So, um, so Josephine was born and raised on the island of Martinique, and she married a rich Frenchman named Alexander de Beauharnais. They always have such snooty names, don't they?
I know she
And
just
I'm not one to draw generalizations, but when I say that, I mean all French.
all the French, right?
They had two kids, just like you and Anna. But unlike you, it was an unhappy marriage. He
Yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah. Unlike me.
it's right. He was a frequent in brothels. Now, let's start this with how mad would your wife be if 200 years from now somebody wrote on your Wikipedia page, he frequented brothels?
So is my wife somehow like alive as a cyborg? Is like a 250-year-old woman and just browsing through Wikipedia, being like, wait a minute.
No, no, I think more.
How I mean, the answer right now is she probably wouldn't be too mad. I'm assuming she'd be many years in the grave at that point.
Right. Yeah. So maybe we need to reframe
Yeah,
the
yeah.
question.
Right, let's
So,
revise a little bit.
yeah.
Go ahead.
How mad would your wife be if you frequented brothels?
Well, am I just hanging out?
In the, yeah,
Like,
you're just you're just
like
shooting the shit around the water cooler.
right? It's like, everyone's there and there's like, yeah, and there's Nat. He just kind of hangs out here after
Yeah.
school some days.
Hey gals, how's it been going today? You all been busy?
You checking
Oh,
yourself,
here comes a fella. Let me get out of the way.
right?
Hey, buddy, I'm just here to chat.
Yeah, it's like, and I just sit there drinking club soda,
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
lime.
I think
Um,
there's nothing wrong. I
could
don't. There's nothing wrong with frequenting
could
brothels,
right as
as
long as
it
you're not engaging in
right.
illicit.
In yeah, what the brothels have
So
to offer.
so if you frequent brothels, does that necessarily? Because you said before, unlike me and my wife, it wasn't a happy marriage. Is it predetermined that if you're frequenting brothels, your marriage isn't happy? Can't you do both? Can't
Well,
you
no,
have both?
I think if you have, I mean, and keep in mind these are the French. Like, to them, like going to the brothel is like what they do right after they get coffee.
What is that the equivalent for Americans?
Right. Yeah, we
Going to
go
the
to the
coffee
coffee
shop?
shop, they go to the brothel. And again, this
Um,
we're not look, we're not two guys to generalize. And when we say this stuff, we don't mean all French. We just mean like 98, 99% of French people attend brothels the way you or I might attend a coffee house.
and all of the men.
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So I think she wouldn't be thrilled. I mean, part of it is like I don't think brothels are super cheap, are they?
Well, they're not super cheap. I mean, I think the other thing you have to keep in mind is this is the late 18th century. So there there are a lot of problems with having polyamorous relations.
You mean like syphilis?
Correct. There are not a lot of great cures for things that can happen in brothels.
So I think she would be way angrier about me passing something terrible on to her than just kind of me frequenting brothels in a vacuum. She
Okay.
she would be furious
She's
about
pretty open
that.
minded then.
She is, but man, she would be furious if I like caught something and then brought it home.
And that's, yeah, I mean, that's all,
How
that's
about your
almost a
wife?
little unfair to you.
How about your wife?
She'd be livid. Are you kidding me? I mean, I didn't have to frequent them. If I went to one once,
Yeah, one time. That's actually going to tie in really nicely to one of my later ones.
although I think it's like anything else, right? If you go to one once, they're going to be furious. But if you say, hey, listen, I've visited 200 brothels in the past 18 months, they're not going to be quite as mad because it's going
Well,
to kind of,
that
it's shock and awe. It's shock and awe.
at what point, what number of brothels could you visit where it wouldn't keep getting worse every time? Like, what's the number? Because like you got to make sure you get over that number. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like if it's like she would be just as mad if you visited a brothel 50 times as opposed to like six. You should go 50,
Right. I mean,
assuming you can afford it.
um, yeah, I think that it's going to be like, eight. I'd say eight is, after eight.
After eight,
It's like
she's not
Stalin
getting
said,
any
and
madder.
not to keep bringing up Stalin, um, but we will. It's like Stalin said, kill one man, you're a murderer. Kill a million, and you're an emperor. It's that same sort of concept.
You
Visit
should get,
one brothel, and you're a dirtbag. Visit 200 brothels.
and you're a player.
Right, right, right. You're just a guy who likes to have
You,
some fun on the weekends,
you should get that Stalin quote on a shirt, by the way, and just wear it
or
around.
a tattoo.
Yeah, like a tramp stamp type
Mm-hmm.
thing. How much would I have to pay you to get that quote tattooed just above your butt in like kind of calligraphy writing?
Um.
I mean, I would pay for the tattoo, obviously.
Yeah. So kill one man, and you're a murderer. Kill millions of men, and you are a conqueror. Kill them all, and you are a god. That's
Okay,
going to
so
take a lot of space.
what would I
So,
have? Well, they could do it
like,
like
as
fairly
a
small.
tramp stamp.
Yeah, fairly small, right
Yeah.
above the butt crack.
Right. Right. So it's a tramp stamp.
Yeah,
Uh.
exactly what it is.
I mean, it's going to be probably like starting mid back and working its way down to my
No, it'll
butt.
be lower than that. They do good work with tattoos these days. It would be fairly small. I mean,
Maybe just the words "kill them all" and you are a god.
yeah, just to get rid of the first two lines, just for space purposes.
Yeah, this isn't.
You're like,
This isn't
this
to,
is going to come off like way different now, right? You're just like,
uh
yeah, but I just don't have the space
or the money.
or the money for. No, I'm paying for the tattoo. You don't have to worry about the money.
Now, I'm seeing here that this is actually attributed to French author Jean Rostand.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell you that.
Uh, yeah, one of our favorite French authors.
Yeah, or
And
just
so,
authors in
yeah,
general.
so I would say for 50K.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think for 50K, I think getting the
kill them
words
all and you're a
"kill
god
them all" and you're a god tattooed on my lower back.
as a tramp stamp. I
And
mean,
like,
this is every now and then we do one of these things, and I'm like, man, I wish I was a wealthier man. because I can't swing that even close to it.
Right, right.
But like,
Well,
but
I
I
mean
don't think
that's what
your
GoFundMe's for.
I don't think your price is unreasonable.
A GoFundMe to convince my buddy
Get a tramp stamp.
to get them a long quote on his lower back in his 50s.
Incorrectly attributed originally to Joseph
Oh
Stalin.
yeah, no, because it's gonna say dash Stalin, and then everybody that sees it's gonna be like, no, that wasn't
No, that
Stalin.
actually was I don't even remember his
French
name.
author.
That was a French author of some kind.
Yeah.
Tramp stamps wrong.
Yeah. Come on, bud.
Like you're getting cozy with a young lady. The clothes start to come
At the
off.
brothel.
Right at the brothel, she notices you have a little tramp stamp. She's not initially turned off by what it says, even though she does do a little double take, but she is not happy when she sees that the quote is incorrectly attributed to former Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin.
Now, now. And she's gonna say, look, Stalin, I agree that Stalin's a lot like Akeem Olajuwon, but he did not actually say what you think he said. And by the way, folks, that is a callback to our previous episode, which you can download on Apple Podcast and on Spotify
Free of
anytime
charge,
you. Yeah, yeah. These podcasts currently are free. We're still
currently.
right, right. We're obviously going to be swooped up at some point by some big contract. Big podcast is going to come claim the two of us, and then you guys are going to be shut out. But for right now, even little people like you, the ones listening, have a chance to listen to this gold for free. You're welcome.
You are welcome.
So they're
Anyway,
in Paris in the
we,
early 1790s when
anyway,
the rain.
we digress.
They're in Paris in the early 1790s when the Reign of Terror rings out. Now, Reign of Terror for our listeners, perhaps some of you remember Pac-Man fever in the early 1980s.
Great comp.
The Reign of Terror was similar, except with guillotines.
Right.
Over 16,500 death sentences were carried out
Other
between.
than that, it was exactly the same.
No, no, right, right. Except the music was better with Pac-Man Fever.
Right.
Over 16,500 death sentences were carried out between September 1793 and July 1794. One of those, tragically, not, was Alexander.
What?
Yes, I know. I know. It's so unfair.
It's just when I had kind of grown close to him.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing. Again, 230 years from now, we can joke about it.
Yeah, but at the time, I'll bet it wasn't funny at all.
No, no. I mean, 16,000 people getting their heads cut off in the town square over the course of a year. That is the opposite of funny.
So I mean,
I mean, now it's
sorry for
hilarious.
laughing.
Now it's hilarious.
So over the
But,
course of a year, I mean,
comedy is tragedy plus time.
that's like 400 to 500 people a day.
That's wild.
That's
I mean, they're just,
people,
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's maybe another episode, but like, that's a lot of, we talk about people being overworked and trying to find work-life balance. I mean, think about the executioners in Paris. Like
it was
those
the
guys were
golden
probably
age.
like, they were probably like executing like one person a week before the Reign of Terror.
Right.
And then next thing you know, they're executing 300 people a day.
How many executioners do you think would be going in like Paris at any given time during that time? They can't just one guy could never handle it, even if he was the best.
No, they definitely had. No, I mean, I'm sure there was a hiring frenzy for executioners, which doesn't leave a lot of, it doesn't make you think that these were being carried out in the most professional manner.
No,
It's kind of like, yeah. So,
or so I've heard.
So Josephine was arrested, and she could have been facing the guillotine, but Robespierre fell, and she was therefore freed. Reign of Terror's over. Pac-Man fever taken off the airwaves. And she and Napoleon are introduced at a party in 1795. She wrote of him that he was, quote, silent and awkward with women and, quote, altogether strange in his person. However,
like
she realized that he was ambitious and his prestige was growing, so she agreed to marry him in 1796. Now, this raises our next question.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Now, you in your 20s, could perhaps be considered maybe a little silent and awkward with women. Maybe altogether strange in your person. But do you think your wife married you nonetheless because at the time your prestige was growing?
I think it was more my ambition. I think she was like, he's fairly easy on the eyes. He's awkward. Silence kind of creeps me out a little bit, but man, he's ambitious. He's
But
gonna
that guy
con
is a
right,
go
that
getter.
guy's gonna conquer the world. And I want to be here on the ground floor. That's always the thing. I think I have some good qualities, but I think at the end of the day, if you asked my wife, if you gave her truth serum and you said, what drew you to this guy? I think probably my ambition.
You said, look, in my late 40s, I'm going to have a podcast listened to by tens, if not dozens of people producing zero income for our growing family.
Taking a decent amount of my time.
Right. Right. But I'll be very heavily focused on it. And she says, that's the kind of pluck I'm looking for.
Right. So like you said late 40s. So you'll get to that in like 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
What are you
You'll
gonna
get
do?
around
What are you
to
gonna
it.
do in the meantime?
Kick
Uh,
around.
like public school teacher, maybe take like a decade off at some point.
Right. So on March 9th, 1796, they
Hey, can
get
I ask you a
married.
question before you
Mm-hmm.
get into that? We were talking about the golden age of executioners. What do you think the training regiment was to be an executioner back then? Like, like the guys we were talking about earlier these days, they go through like 45 days of training. Like, how do you train to be an executioner? Are you an apprentice? Do you just give someone like an axe? Well, I guess it's a guillotine, and just go out there and just be like, good luck?
Yeah, I would guess, I mean, you know, it's probably at that point, 1793, it was like ice, it's just like anybody who signs up, we're giving a signing bonus to, and we're unleashing on the public in like a week.
And we hope they're good at it.
Right, right. And we'll just let the chips fall where they may. And so I think that's kind of where Robespierre was like, let's just
Right.
start lopping these heads off. We don't need these guys to be the award winners in their field. So I think at that time,
Can
probably
you
the
chop off a
quality,
head? You're hired.
right, right. And so the quality, you have to think quality was low among the executioners back then.
Well,
I mean,
and the quantity was huge, though.
oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I bet you got paid by head. So it was probably some demand to really, slice through these folks.
Yeah, paid. You think got a commission?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the more you out chopped, I mean, because this was a frenzy. Like the Reign of Terror was not like, hey, let's have let's have some court, let's have these guys go through a court process and the appeals process, and then we'll decide. This was like, hey, look at that guy. I think he needs his head cut off.
That guy kind of looked at me funny. I don't like his shoes.
That's right. Get up there on the platform, bud.
You with the shoes.
Yeah, I got bad news
We're gonna kill you.
right now. Right
And he's
freaking
like, I'm just
now.
on my way to the grocery store. No, you were on your way to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. So
Like,
they get married March 9th, 1796. He arrived 2 hours late because he was leaving for Italy in 2 days for a military campaign and was studying maps.
all right, how
Now,
mad would your wife be if you showed up 2 hours late for your wedding? Was that
yes, we have
were
had
you
this
were
discussion.
you
We're not
going
going to do the
somewhere
whole
like
thing
that?
again, but I
No, but
just
it's
want to
worth
touch on it
revisiting.
because I don't think last time we discussed the fact that he was studying maps.
Okay,
And,
that's a good point. I
you
hadn't
know,
considered that.
and so does that give you maybe a little bit of leeway with your wife when you show up 2 hours late for the wedding? But honey, I was
So
studying
this is how it
maps.
plays out. So you show up. First of all, how long is your wife going to hang around at your wedding if you're late? Because I seriously doubt my wife would wait 2 hours.
No, God, no. 15 minutes max.
15, you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
I think my wife might. Oh, geez. I was going to say she might wait half an hour, and then I'm just kind of actually trying to play it through in my head. So this is before like texting and stuff. I couldn't be like
Right.
I'm hung up in traffic or
Right.
something like
I'm
that.
studying maps.
Right. So, all right. So we're
Honey,
already
real
kind of
quick. Sorry, I'm late.
right.
You should see this map, though.
There's a map here that I've been studying.
I
Um,
can't get my eyes off it.
you don't mind waiting around, do you?
Mm-hmm.
So like she wouldn't wait 2 hours, first of all. But if she did, and then I rolled in 2 hours late, she first of all, she would just be furious. I mean, the wedding would almost certainly be off. It's like, Nat, where were you? What's going on? I'm really mad. And then so you're saying my response would then be like, I was studying maps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would do much to quell the fury.
No. No, I think the wedding would be called off, first of all. Now, granted, back their wedding was probably a bit more ostentatious than yours or mine. Yours in the city of Las Vegas with me and your sister at an Elvis chapel, and
Yep.
me at a Unitarian church in Philadelphia with about 8 people in attendance.
But
So,
double the amount of total people at mine.
right. So I feel like there's a little bit really more, you would think there'd be a little bit more grace for you or I in a rather casual wedding than the type of wedding that Napoleon was a part of, which was probably like pretty a lot of annoyed people in there. Like it
Would
was
it
probably a
be
big
worse?
wedding, probably like the vicar or the priest or whatever that was marrying them was probably pretty ticked off himself. He's wearing all those fancy clothes. It's got to be, it's got to kind of drag
Hot,
on you.
probably, right.
It's hot. You're carrying like a large staff.
Yeah, but what you're not considering, you're not, first of all, you're not taking my ambition
Right.
into account when we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about this. That's a factor. The
Right.
second thing I wanted to ask you is it worse to show up 2 hours late for your wedding if it's a relatively small affair or if there's like a couple thousand people? Because I would argue maybe better with thousands of people. They could mingle. I don't know. It's like if there's only one person missing out of a crowd of 2,000, it's not as big a deal. But
Now,
if there's
yeah,
only 8 people there and you're missing, that people are going to notice.
that's ridiculous. That's
Go
that's
ahead.
like saying, the star of the Broadway show is missing, and that's who cares because there's 2,000 people in attendance.
Well,
Like
there's understudies at shows. What if you had an understudy?
that went through the wedding for you.
Yeah, yeah. The bad news is I'm going to be 2 hours late. The good news is, here's Louis. You're
He's
going
a
to be married.
shorter,
You're going to be
tastier
marrying
version of
him today.
me.
Right.
Because I mean, your understudy would have to be less attractive than
It
you
would
are.
have to be like right. Like if you're a 7, he's a 5.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely my understudy. I mean, people are going to look away when he enters the room.
Yeah, he's
I don't want my wife
maybe
getting any ideas because I showed
maybe
up
like
late.
he has maybe like a touch of the leprosy. Just a touch. Just a
I
little.
mean, it's
Just
hardly even worth mentioning how
just
little
a
the
little bit.
leprosy's got.
Should probably wear gloves when you're holding his hands.
So Napoleon leaves for Italy, and Josephine immediately starts an affair with a guy named Hippolyte Charles. She also,
What a great name, first
yeah,
of all.
yeah, that's a name that needs to make a comeback.
You
For
think
all
he
the
got
trouble we give the French, they do have some great names.
what kind of nicknames? I'm sure people called him hippopotamus growing up.
Yeah,
I mean, kids can be cruel.
they can be. She also spent money freely buying expensive clothes and threw lavish parties. She purchased a home near Paris and gave it a beautiful rose garden and got exotic animals like ostriches and kangaroos. Now, if you got married, left for a business trip, and your wife responded by having an affair, spending your money on fine clothes, and purchasing a kangaroo, how mad would you be?
And an ostrich?
And an ostrich, yeah, at least one.
Wow.
Yeah, we're kind of turning the tables here because normally our wives are constantly in a state of anger at us, but in this case,
Would I
they
be
have.
mad at her?
Yeah, no, this is a little bit of us kind of paying ourselves in a way. Like we've had
What
to so many times think about how mad our wives would be at us for various things, and now it's our chance to kind of get back at them for hypothetical things that have never happened.
have you ever woken up from a dream, or has your wife ever woken up from a dream where one of you did something wrong and then it spills into the next day?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's happened to me several times. I've
Right.
been both the receiving end and occasionally the giving end of that. What's my financial situation in this hypothetical?
Oh, you're
I
doing
mean,
great. You're
the
Napoleon.
lavish parties, the ostriches, the kangaroos. Can I afford these things?
Well, yes and no.
Go
You're
ahead.
you're Napoleon. You've got lots of money, but it's just like anything else. People tend to spend what they have, and sometimes even a bit more when you marry Josephine. And so, let's say now, when I'm assuming kangaroos are slightly cheaper than they were in the 1790s, uh, if your wife bought a kangaroo now, it's still
Uh,
gonna you got to think 40K, 50K.
well, if you're buying them like at retail, sure.
Well,
You
well, your wife's not involved in like the kangaroo black market.
you don't know what my wife's involved in or not. So let's just say for a second, I'm sitting down. Here's how the conversation would go. sit down with my wife, and I'm just like, listen, this I have really enjoyed being married to you. Like there are so many upsides, but there have been a couple of downsides. And I take out my ledger and show it to her, and I'm just like, things are going well. I noticed that the kangaroo budget is we've gone significantly over the last 2 months, as well as the ostrich budget. And I really just wanted to kind of have a honest, put all our cards on the table conversation about that. Because when we got married, we did agree to take each other for better, for worse, and all that. But I didn't realize at the time about all the kangaroos. So if I can afford it, because you said I have tons and tons of money, I'm not super mad about the lavish parties or the wildlife, although I don't want them like tearing up my house and stuff like that. That would make me mad. The affair, I mean, how long am I away for? Am I away for
Only a
like
few months.
a few months?
Yep.
I would be annoyed if she had an affair if I was only gone for a few months.
Oh yeah, but then again, you showed up 2 hours late for the wedding, so that's going to be her argument. We both
Ah,
know it's coming.
actually, I hadn't really thought about
We've
that
both
part.
been married for long enough that we know if our wives have an affair, the first thing that's coming out of their mouth is not, "Oh, I'm sorry I had an affair," but rather, where were you for the first 2 hours of our wedding?"
That's true. That's
And
going to
then
be
all of a sudden, we're on defense. We know how this works.
she rides in on an ostrich
Mm-hmm. Yep.
with her new lover.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. And I'm looking it up now. So, um, I see a kangaroo online that says it's $2,700 now.
Yeah, I mean, when you said $40,000, I was just like, with having done no research and having very limited contacts in the Australian black market, I'll bet I could secure a kangaroo for less than 40K.
In most states, it's illegal to keep a kangaroo as a pet. A few states,
Which states is it legal in though?
okay, hold on. A few states allow it with a special permit, while only a handful, like Wisconsin, South Carolina, and West Virginia, allow kangaroo ownership without any permit at all.
South Carolina is like the Wild West as far as kangaroos go. You want a kangaroo? Yeah, just get a kangaroo.
Right? West Virginia, too.
Like, was there any paperwork I need to fill out? No,
No, no. Here you
no.
go.
I just need a money order for $2,700.
Right. Yeah. So, that's the thing about this show, folks. We might be talking about Napoleon, but next thing you know, you're learning about the legality of owning a kangaroo in West Virginia.
Next thing you know, you have a couple kangaroos that you weren't expecting to have at the beginning of the show.
And you have the two of us to blame. All right. So the big problem with Josephine was not the affairs of the kangaroos, but that she couldn't leave him an heir.
See,
In
that's a
eight,
deal breaker. My wife can have all the ostriches and kangaroos she
right.
wants.
Yep.
But if she can't produce me an heir, a male heir, let me be
Right.
clear. A
Right.
male heir.
Mm-hmm. And she did. She knew the stakes were high and she did what had to be done. My wife did the same.
Right. She said,
And
if I
you
want to
look,
keep
yeah,
this
you look at
guy
a
and
couple
all
of
his unbridled ambition, I need to produce a son like yesterday.
who's going to one day control all of France,
All this ambition
or
is
at
leading
least
up
the
to.
outskirts of Nassawattix.
Oh gosh, the outskirts is the hardest part to take over. Like I think that you and I could probably take over the central part of town, working in tandem, like with a little bit of planning. But the outskirts,
Yeah, it's the
come
Wild
on,
West out
man.
there.
Like once you're heading like kind of towards like the bird's nest area, wherever the
Mm.
line is, yeah, you might run into some problems. Some
Yeah, it gets a little rougher. People are a little bit more serious about carrying a weapon. I think downtown, you're right. It's more dense. I mean, in a town of 550 people, you probably got 300 of them right there in the hub.
All right, so the key would be controlling them.
Right.
Kind of
Well,
setting
look,
up on top of shortstop, maybe up on the Stits roof.
could you imagine like
You
an
and me
armed
trying to take over downtown Nassawattix?
and
Yeah,
people would be like,
but
wait,
honestly, I haven't thought about it before, but I'm sure thinking about it now.
like people would be like, why are these guys taking over this old town whose property values have cratered?
We put up like a black and white striped like toll thing
Mm-hmm.
Like if you come down, if you're coming down off the Seaside Road, that road towards the highway, like we're just
Mm-hmm.
like, no, you got to pay us a toll to come through here.
Yeah.
We run this place now.
Right. Right. Yeah. New rules, folks. This
We've
isn't the
taken
Nesawatics you remember
we've
that you could
taken
just
over.
come in and out of for free.
Wait, who's taking over? Me and Johnny?
Me and my podcast co-hosts.
Who else?
Yeah,
Well,
no, we
nobody,
learned about
nobody
Napoleon
yet.
and said we could do this ourselves.
Right now, nobody. But the movement's going to catch on.
So she died in 1814. He still loved her, though. And when he
Sure.
was exiled to St. Helena, he surrounded himself with photos of Josephine, even eating off plates with her likeness on them. Would your wife like it if you ate off plates with images of her on them?
No, no, she wouldn't. She'd hate it. She doesn't even like having her picture taken.
Mm,
How would your
yeah.
wife feel about it?
Uh, I don't know. Like, I mean, I get her like coffee mugs with like world's best mom and like pictures of her on them.
That's a little different.
A
I don't know.
little. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think drinking out of it's different than eating off it. Like eating off it, staring you right in the face.
Yeah, it's like as you eat stuff, you're revealing more and more of her face.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at her.
Right. Right. It's like one of those puzzles.
If you were having an affair, hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
but the woman really, really resembled your
Or
wife.
hundreds of them.
Well, let's start with one and we'll
Okay.
branch out. It's kind of like branching out in the cult we were talking about before. You
Mm,
got a foundation.
right.
And so if you were having an affair, but the woman looked a lot like your wife,
Mm-hmm.
would that make your wife more or less mad? Or equally? Wouldn't matter. Like, so I mean, you're like, baby, it's just like you're perfect. I want someone like you, and it's just like, you weren't around, or you know
Mm-hmm.
you can't satisfy me.
I was
She would probably like hearing she couldn't satisfy you.
yeah,
And,
I was studying maps.
I was studying maps. This
Gal
woman
walked
came
in.
over who like looked a little like you,
Mm-hmm.
and so you know, well, there's really no other way to say it. We had a lot of sex, but she looks a lot like you.
Uh-huh.
How would she feel about that?
It wouldn't
Wouldn't
matter.
wouldn't
Like 2 hours
matter.
late at the wedding.
Wouldn't
It's
matter.
now it wouldn't matter how much ambition I have. I would be in
But baby, she looks just like you.
come on. Yeah, no, it's not passing the mustard. All right, so he dies in 1821. The end.
Huh?
That's it. He died 1821. So long,
Oh, I
Napoleon.
thought you said and you were about to like elaborate, but then it
No,
just.
the end.
Oh, okay. Okay. Or
Um,
as the French would say, fiend.
yes.
F-I-N.
Les Morts. Fiend.
All right. Well, that was fun. All right. So let me give you a quick one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just realized I forgot to put on my red beret.
Well, it's a little late now, buddy.
Yeah. Gosh, dog it. See, that's the thing. That's why nobody's listening.
That and because we're a bunch of beta cucks.
Right. We really
Those are
we
the
need
two
to make
reasons.
this
There's
we
two
need to
reasons.
make this
Remember we
podcast
talked
a
about
lot.
having like charts and graphs up on the screen last week. We're just like
Mhm.
we're gonna have to have a meeting and talk about why no one's listening. The way I see it is threefold. The first one is we had a pretty solid following. We were getting, 1,000 people sometimes listening to episodes. Then we just stopped for years. So that's the first reason. We got to get our momentum back. The second, we're not even wearing enough berets, enough
Yeah.
computer
Well, that's
generated
about to
berets
change.
on
And
the thing.
also we're gonna start producing berets with the name of the show on them. If the fans want it.
I think the fans want it.
I think you're right.
And the third reason, as I referenced before, the whole beta cuck thing.
Right.
Those are in no particular
That's
order.
what's holding us back.
That's why people don't listen to us. Just, hey, if you listen to the most recent This Week in Worthless Knowledge episode, it's Johnny and Nat.
Why would I listen to those beta cucks? I don't know. They're kind of funny. I don't care.
They're such betas.
I only listen. I only
It's like
listen to
I only
alphas,
listen
bro.
to just guys that smash beer
You think
cans
I?
on
You
the
think I?
forehead.
Yeah. Right. Right. I want guys that are like cutting through watermelons with swords. I don't want a guy with a red beret on his head.
We're doing like push-ups while we do the podcast.
On March 13th, 1781, William Herschel discovers Uranus. On March 10th,
That's it.
1977,
Full stop.
Scientists find rings around Uranus. Will jokes about Uranus ever stop being funny?
Not in our lifetimes.
No, no. I mean, I think they have to change the name of the planet.
I mean, when I was
I mean, I
substitute,
feel like from a branding perspective,
well,
Uranus has some major branding problems.
some people like to be like cool and call it Uranus, and it's just like
Yeah, I know.
we all know
Yeah,
what it's called.
I
It's
know.
not.
I know. That's like the snooty thing. Like that kind. If you call it Uranus, then I instantly am like, oh, coastal elite.
Right, it's true. They're clearly a beta cuck.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like, as a marketing guy, if anybody who's currently unemployed, like if anybody wants to chat about branding, for anybody
If
from like the Uranus project or I just made that up, but like
if you're hiring the Uranus project, you just made that up off the top of your head. Wow.
see,
If
folks.
you were hiring someone for a job and you had job applications filled out, people came in and they just in conversation somehow the seventh planet, furthest planet from the sun, came up and they just referred to it as Uranus. Is that it?
Yeah. I also think that it would be pretty amazing if like there was a job opening for like astronomer. And on the thing, it says, what's the first thing you would do if you got the job? And I would say, spend a week huddling with the team and talking about rebranding Uranus. Like, because that's something nobody else is even thinking about, but you got to be creative. You got to stand out when you apply for these
That's
jobs.
true. On the upside about this one guy, um, he doesn't seem to have any experience at
He's
all in
never even looked through
astronomy.
a
Like
telescope.
doesn't even know like the most basic rudimentary things about astronomy. On the other hand, he's got some interesting ideas. Like all the other people that came in, they're all talking
Yeah.
about the same stuff, all
Mm-hmm.
very specific
Yeah.
astronomy
Yeah. We
related
had like
things.
four
But
guys with like something about the asteroid belt,
but
right?
this
So,
guy came in with a t-shirt that he clearly made himself that said Project Uranus.
except he called it Project Uranus.
Right. And I kind of like the cut of his jib, his moxie.
Yeah, yeah. It's just I feel like it would loosen up the atmosphere around here. We've gotten a little stifled lately.
Right. See, A hirers hire people that think outside the box.
That's right.
A plus guys. And this guy could not be more outside the box.
Yeah. Seems very
March 8th,
ambitious.
he's unbridled ambition. Um, March 8th, March 8th is Be Nasty Day. That's right. I said it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the nastiest thing you could do on Nasty Day that would not result in a swift divorce and custody battle that you would ultimately lose?
Today is nasty day.
March 8th is Nasty Day. So maybe get your wife, tell your wife now to plan for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guess what, honey? All right, right now we'll go real time because today is March 8th. We are recording
Right.
this March 8th. You go up to your wife right now, sidle up to her, nice and cool, and say, "Guess what, baby? Today's
Today
nasty.
is nasty
Today
day.
is nasty day.
And,
That means tonight is nasty night, if you get my drift."
now I'm gonna say, guess what, baby? Today is nasty day. And that means I need to tell you about these 200 brothels I visited over the last year.
But it's okay because it's nasty day.
It's okay. On nasty day, you're
On
allowed to.
nasty day, you can reveal everything. It's just everything you save up all year, and then on March 8th, you just
Mm-hmm.
unload on
Right.
her.
That's
Now,
right,
I
folks.
asked AI what are some examples of nasty behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to give you a couple.
Okay.
So in the workplace, that could look like insisting on doing things one way, refusing to admit mistakes. This one I like: bullying or power abuse, subtly intimidating staff, such as forcing them to do humiliating tasks. If you were managing a company, what's a way that you would go about subtly intimidating staff? Because I know you would.
Subtly intimidating
You'd want to
staff.
be you'd want to be subtle about it.
Right. No, I would
You're not
be
just going to
subtle.
get right up in their face and just scream at them.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm just gonna kind of like we're gonna like bump shoulders when we're walking past the file cabinets.
What's a
And then I'm just
humili
gonna kind of glare him down as I walk away.
what's a humiliating task you might make someone do on nasty day?
Well, like I would have him fetch my coffee and then I would dump it in the trash and then I'd make him go fetch
And
me
then I'd
another
be like,
coffee.
go fetch me another cup.
Yep.
Okay, that's fair. Also, another thing, if you're like in a classroom, they said carrying on side conversations is nasty behavior. Also, showing up in inappropriate attire.
Mm.
like
Done
maybe like
that
a
before.
Project Uranus shirt,
Yeah.
something like that. And then last but not least, negative personal habits. Um, Substance misuse, drinking or using drugs during
Oh,
class.
now we're talking. See, that's what I want to be doing on nasty days.
These are
I want to
nasty
be getting
behaviors.
hammered at the office. And then
Do
the
you
boss
think
is like, whoa, 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 this is insane. You go, what? Sorry, buddy. It's nasty day.
also setting fires or damaging property on purpose?
That also at Project Uranus. We're
So
we're
do
gonna
you,
be we're gonna be
we're going to be,
setting like the telescopes on fire. It's gonna
right.
be they're gonna be like, man, we should not have hired this guy.
You think I was outside of the box before. You see this, you just take out a lighter.
And, and a can
It's,
of butane.
it's some oily rags. You're just like, I'll just let you. I'm not, well, they're like, what are you going to do with that? Well, you'll find out.
Yeah, maybe
Um,
think outside the box and you'd know.
how likely, how much percentage chance of hooking up with your wife would it go up if you told her it was nasty day today?
0%. March 12th, 1912, the Girl Scouts are founded. What is your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Samoa's probably.
They're the ones with the coconut.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
The problem is that you can eat a box by yourself
Yeah,
in 20 minutes or
yeah,
less.
yeah. There's something about the whole process because I think part of the problem is like they're going to a good cause, and that makes you feel better about eating the cookies.
It's true. You're like, well, that's for the Girl Scouts.
Yeah, it's for the kids.
Right.
I'm eating this entire box of cookies for the kids because if I eat this entire box of cookies, I'm going to need to buy another box of cookies. And you know who benefits? The kids.
The kids do.
Yep.
The kids. That's
Mm-hmm.
fair.
Yep.
Yeah, those are my favorites. I remember when I was a kid, it was kind of like Thin Mints, but it was more because I was allergic to chocolate and I wasn't allowed to have them. But yeah, it's Samoa's. You buy any Girl Scout cookies this year?
Not yet.
I have
Which one did you get?
Samoa's, and also there's these new ones that are kind of s'more cookies. I wasn't planning on getting them, but the little girl that sold them to me was like, "These are new this year," and I was like, "Well, then I need to buy a box."
Well, yeah. Once they throw new at you, you're such a consumer.
Yeah, she was cute too. She was a
Yeah.
nice kid.
All right, you got anything else?
No, I'm good. Well, I mean, I got a few if you want to go with it. We've been going for a while though.
Yeah. All right, my last question. March 14th, 1964, Jack Ruby was convicted of killing Lee Harvey Oswald. Do you think Ruby was innocent and railroaded?
Of killing Lee Harvey Oswald,
Yeah.
I'm quite convinced he did it. I
You were
mean,
just talking about that video evidence.
there's a few reasons. One is that he's on video doing it. And I guess that's pretty much it. No, I'm pretty sure he was guilty of that. Now, if you said is he was he part of a grander conspiracy to silence him, or was that's another question, and maybe so. But yeah, he did it.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Well, my family's invading the room, so let's cut this thing off before
Your whole family?
yeah, they're just the place is just kind of crawling with them. Like your family just kind of starts. You want a little quiet time, and that's once you reach the hour point, that's over.
Well, we should get your wife in and ask her directly some of these questions. We were speculating, hey, what would she do if this and that? I mean, there's the fastest way to find out. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have to be this week necessarily, but the quickest way to find out would just be put her on camera.
Well,
Ask her these
unfortunately, it's
questions
not my
directly.
wife invading the room; it's my son.
Oh, hey, man. How's it
What's up,
going?
dude? Welcome to the show. What's your favorite kind of Girl Scout cookie? Yeah, what? That's not a thing.
Get him out of here.
Okay, let me ask you another
Yeah,
question.
go ahead.
On March 10th, 1977, scientists. Oh, all right, whatever. I was going to ask him if Uranus is still found funny in schools.
I mean, my son's right here. Dante.
All right, hold
Did
on.
you
All right, he's back. So,
hear
on
Dante?
March 10th, 1977, scientists found rings around Uranus. Do kids still think it's funny that there's a planet called Uranus? No?
In my class, they do.
Dante, do people still think it's funny?
In my class, they do.
In his class, they do.
All right. Well, I guess they're a little bit more sophisticated humor here in
But how old's your
Northampton
son?
County.
How old's your son? 12?
12.
All right, my son's 10.
Yeah. So I think that's what you're seeing a difference in terms of like at 12, everything's corny.
That's true.
right?
Even stuff
So
that's legitimately funny, like the
right,
Rams.
right. So I don't take his I don't take anything he says seriously at his age, because he's going to
No,
think he thinks everything's going.
no, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Your son.
Yep. Yep. All right. Well, we'll probably cut that out of the final version in case people think we've truly lost our minds. Um,
Maybe.
uh, and don't even get me started on your kids.
How dumb they are.
And then people can just assume that we're having a real big argument as soon as we go off the air.
Well,
You're the one that called my son an
they're
idiot.
assuming correctly. You have offended me, sir. I'm going to slap you with a white glove. That is the type of thing you would slap someone with a white glove for back in the day.
Well, right. I mean, I'm sure Josephine slapped a lot of people with a white glove.
If you get my drift.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks. My name's Johnny Goodtimes.
I'm not the Truth Jones.
Take it light.
Later.